Hello everyone. In this video we will study about Whitworth quick return mechanism. So here you can see a simple line diagram of the mechanism. So we have a driving pinion. So this is the driving pinion. Then this larger diameter is the bull gear. It is the bull gear. Then we can see the crank pin. So this is the crank pin. Then this is the sliding block. Then this is the crank plate. Then this is the pivot for the crank plate. So the crank plate is pivoted here. Then this is another pin. Then next, this is the connecting rod, and this is the connecting pin for ram, and this is the ram. This is the connecting pin. So these are the major parts. So this is the bull gear. This outer diameter. This is bull gear. So the bull gear is mounted on a large fixed pin A upon which it is free to rotate. So this is a pin and the bull gear is free to rotate through this pin A. Then the crank plate is pivoted eccentrically upon the fixed pin. So this is the crank plate. This is the crank plate and it is pivoted at this point using a pin. So crank plate is pivoted at this point. Then on the face of the bull gear we have a pin. So this is the pin. On the face of the bull gear we have a crank pin, and which in turn is connected to the sliding block. So this is the sliding block. So on the face of the bull gear we have a crank pin, and this crank pin is also used to connect the sliding block, and the movement of the sliding block is restricted along this slot. So the sliding block fits into the slot provided on the crank plate, and the other end of the crank plate is connected to a connecting rod with the help of a pin, which in turn is connected to the ram with the help of a connecting pin. So when the bull gear rotates at constant speed, the crank pin along with the sliding block will rotate on the crank circuit. So this is the crank circuit. So when this bull gear is rotating, what will happen? The crank pin along with the sliding block rotates along the crank pin circuit. So the rotation of this sliding block through this crank pin circle causes the crank plate to rotate. So when the sliding block is rotating, what will happen? The crank plate also rotates along this pivot. So this pin fitted on the other end of the crank plate also rotates in a circle. So this point also rotates in a circle, and the rotary motion of this pin will be converted to the reciprocating movement of the ram. Rotary motion of this pin is converted to reciprocating movement of the ram. So when the crank pin is at position C, the ram will be at the extreme backward position. And when the crank pin is at position B, the ram will be at extreme forward position. That is, when the crank pin is at C, this pin will be at this point, that is the ram will be at extreme backward position. So when the crank pin travels from C to B, when the crank pin travels from C to B, this pin passes through the backward position to the forward position, that is the cutting stroke. So when the crank pin travels from C to B, this pin travels from backward to forward, that is we are obtaining a cutting stroke or the forward stroke. And during the return stroke, what will happen? The crank pin travels from B to C. So this pin travels from forward to backward. So when the crank pin travels from B to C, this pin travels from forward to backward. So at this time the return stroke is completed. So as the angular velocity of the crank pin is uniform, the time taken by the crank pin to travel this arc, that is CEB, will be greater than the time taken to travel from BDC. So thus a quick return motion is obtained by this particular mechanism. So when the crank pin travels from C to B, forward stroke is obtained, and when the crank pin travels from B to C, the return stroke is obtained. So thank you.